Alright, hi guys, welcome to part, I think, 5 of What If Naruto Was OP and Neglected. I know I said I was going to do, like, a new series in the next part, but I decided just to record this now. This is, I'm recording this a day after I uploaded part 4. Sorry if I kind of stumble a bit, because I don't have a script right now. It's early in the morning, it's 7 a.m., and, uh, yeah, I had to go to school in, like, an hour, so I'm kind of in a rush and decided just not write a script, because I was thinking of like a story in my head and kind of have what I want to do for this part in my head. So if I stumble or if I kind of what's the name? Stutter. If I kind of stutter a bit or I have to like take a pause and think, I'm sorry about that because usually I have a script and whenever I get confused or if I can't forget or if I can't remember something, I check. And so in the last part, it was basically just the bell test and them passing it through teamwork, and they also got the bells. And then they're on the Tajuna or uh the bridge arc. I forgot what the full name is. I'm really bad with names and stuff, so sorry. And yeah, so I left off with them defeating Zabuza and Haku coming in and saving him. And in this, I'm gonna just say Haku's a girl, just because if not, I'm gonna keep on saying she by accident, and I'd rather just make her a girl if I'm gonna keep on saying that, just so I don't keep on mixing it up so much. So yeah, she would have saved Zabuza, and they would go off and train like how they did. You know how they learned water and tree walking, or they learned tree walking, but I'm also gonna say they learned water walking. Naruto already knew how to do this, so he asked Kakashi if he can go train by himself because he has some jutsus he wants to learn and master. And Kakashi says sure because he sees that Naruto already like kind of surpasses all training that Kakashi can give him. And Sasuke and Sakura, they get it like a lot quicker. Like it doesn't take them nearly as long as it did. I know Sakura was a little bit quicker in canon, but in this canon, she is just like 2 tries ahead of Sasuke. Like she finished and took Sasuke like 2 or 3 more tries to basically master or finish it. And yeah, they would teach or they would give or what's it called? Kakashi would train Sasuke and Sakura a little bit more on endurance and basic stuff. And while Naruto's in the woods, he's mainly meditating and is what's it called and is in his mindscape for the most part, talking to Kurama and Ashura. And oh yeah, by the way, in the last part, I asked you guys if you guys want me to give Naruto a tail, and you guys, it was a little bit mixed. Like a few of you guys said, no, don't give him a tail. Nah, don't give him a tail. But more of you guys said that I should give him some sort of tail. Some of you guys actually said give him all 9 tails, and so in order to split this up between all of that, I'm gonna say that he has a tail, but he can kind of like retract it and like pull it out again, and kind of like that. I might make it just stick in the future, but for now, it's kind of going to be like he can make it appear and disappear. What he can do with it is he can use like a Rasengan, and he can actually throw it with his tail and do stuff like that. He's also able to, you know, if you guys seen Dragon Ball or at least Dragon Ball Z, when Frieza shoots like beams out of his fingers, I'm gonna say he's able to do that, but with his tail. Like he's kind of able to just go zoom, 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 and shoot kind of laser beams that are pretty powerful at his enemies with it. And what else? Have you guys ever seen Pokemon? I know I'm making like a lot of references right now because that's what I can mainly think of when like Pikachu, like he's Iron Tail, like in the anime or in the cartoon, whatever you define it as. He kind of like makes his tail completely like iron or steel, and is able to just hit people with it really hard. I'm gonna say Naruto's able to do that. His is like as hard as iron or steel, and it's pretty big, and he can like use all 9 tails if he wanted to, and yeah, he's basically able to hit people with it, and it's pretty powerful. And so Ashura and Karam. Oh yeah, and I forgot to also say, some of you guys actually wanted him to go rogue. I'm gonna ask this again, but if he does, I'm just gonna give a little bit of spoiler because it's coming up in the next few parts, probably depending on how far I get. Um, he would probably end up getting he might actually like get banished from what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna tell you how or when, kind of, but yeah. And I think I might make him have his own village and be his own Kage. And so yeah, if you guys want me to do that, if you guys think that's cool, then just comment it again. So let's get back to the what if. So Naruto would be in his mindscape talking to Asha and Kurama and training, and Asha would tell Naruto that he should probably get a summoning. And at first Naruto says, why should I get a summoning? I'm already powerful enough by myself. And what's called Asha just says it'd be a nice touch and might make you even stronger than you are now. And Naruto thinks about this and asks, but what summoning should I get? And that's when Karma chops in it, or kind of like, I was about to say walking, but he's already there. But that's when Karma speaks up and says he should get the white fox summoning. And Naruto goes, what's that? Because he's heard of a bunch of different summonings, but he's never heard of the white fox summoning. And what's it called? Asha would just go, should we? Because Asha has had the summoning before and knows how powerful they are, but looks at Naruto and realizes that Kid Naruto already is as powerful as adult Asha, if not more powerful, because it's Naruto plus the QB, or some of the QB chakra, or Karma's chakra. And on top of that, what's called, he already has adult Asha's knowledge, chakra, and everything like that. And he thinks it's safe for Naruto to go and what's it called? It's safe for Naruto to go and try fighting the fox or the summoning in order to gain its respect. And so Asha kind of gives him a scroll, or like a little thing that he can use to kind of reverse summon himself. And he does that, and at first the queen and king are okay. This one I'm gonna make it. There's gonna be two summonings. It's gonna be the king and queen, and they're the king and queen of all summonings, not just like the fox summonings, of every single summoning. At the point where, like, if an enemy has a summoning and tries using it against him, the summoning won't obey the master and would actually obey Naruto instead if he wanted to. And it's because they fear the summonings, because they know that they can just be defeated and actually killed pretty easily. And so let me think real quick. And yeah, both the queen and king would be shocked, and they would ask, who are you and how'd you get here? Or just, who are you actually? And Naruto would say, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I want to make a summoning contract with you. And both of them would kind of like scoff at this, thinking that Naruto just some sort of little kid, because although Naruto's taller, he's still not like Shippuden taller. He still looks like a kid, just like a little bit taller than Sasuke, I'm gonna say. And they would have they would just be a little bit taller than Sasuke, and he would be pretty buff, or kind of like lean and buff at the same time, but you can't really see it with his shirt or with his like full body or full tracksuit like sweater thing on. He can like barely even tell. And so because of this, sorry, I'm a little sleepy still, because I like just woke, or not just woke up, I woke up at like 4 a.m. And so yeah, Naruto would ask, and they would kind of accept, because they can still kind of sense power inside Naruto, but Naruto has a good way of blocking all his power from seeping out, and like for people to sense him, kind of. So to them, it just kind of sense of somewhat chakra or somewhat strong chakra, like just a bit above average, and decides to let him try and fight. And at first, only the queen would go. Only the queen of summonings would go up, and yeah, or I'm just say the queen fox would go up, and they'll start fighting, and they're pretty fast, even for their size. They're pretty fast, and they'll try fighting Naruto, but Naruto would just be able to dodge anything they threw at him, or anything she threw at him. The queen would try shooting laser beams, like a big beam that would honestly just destroy mountains, like hundreds of mountains at a time. But Naruto just holds his hand out, and they think that he's about to just die right there and then. But that's when Naruto kind of just like catches it and just like absorbs all of it. And this would shock everybody, like, or not everybody, the two queen and king summoning. And yeah, by the way, you guys have names for the two summonings and what I should call them, because I don't have names. I didn't prepare that much. I completely forgot to give them names. So if you guys have cool names that you think would fit a queen fox and a king fox summonings, and then just tell me or leave them in comments, and I'll probably use them if I can memorize them. And so yeah, after this, Naruto would make a big Rasengan, and what's called the Queen Fox would try catching her, like holding it up and like throwing it back, but to her surprise, it kind of just like hits her directly on and like knocks her out, because how strong with it is. Because he uses some of Kurama's chakra and puts in there, because they underestimate him extremely. So the queen would be trying, but not that much, but because of that, she would get knocked out. And then the king would be fairly impressed, and the queen would get back up after a bit and be pretty satisfied. That's when the king would ask to go up next, or like go against him. And so with him, he's actually able to shrink and grow as he wants, or like whenever. Like he can just like while running, he can shrink, grow taller, shrink. Like he can completely control it. So at first, Naruto has a bit of trouble trying to hit him, because every single time he's about to, he like shrinks, and every single time, like he would just do stuff along the lines. And after like battling for a few like for almost an hour, because Naruto is just having trouble hitting him, even with his reflexes, it's still pretty hard. He's gotten a few good hits on him, but it's called the king has really good endurance and can just like kind of block or like take almost all hits. But then that's when Naruto makes like 1,000 shadow clones, and they all have big Rasengans with a little bit of the QB chakra in them, and would go full force and run to the king. At first, the king would be troubled, but then he would shrink, and with the speed, he would like run right behind Naruto. But to his surprise, Naruto would have a tail growing out all of a sudden, and would have like a beam. Like he would grow two tails, and one would have a beam, or like would just be normal, and the other one would have a kind of tail beast bomb. And all of a sudden the other tail would just start like shaking kind of, and a large beam would just be like, going right towards him, and this would catch him off guard. And as he jumps, Naruto throws the tailed beast bomb at him that he had in the other tail, which would be a direct hit. And at first, this isn't really 100% enough to knock out the king. He's like standing, but he's like extremely weakened. But that's when Naruto jumps up in the air, grabs his tail, and you know how like when people like jump up in the air, like when they're all in the air, grab their tail and do a front flip and like slam them onto the ground in animes. I'm gonna say that he does that with the fox, or with the King Fox, defeating him and knocking him out as well. And yeah, so once the king wakes up, both the king and the queen would say that they earned his respect. Uh, They would say, "You have earned our respect, Naruto Uzumaki." What the heck? Naruto Uzumaki. You may make a contract summoning with us. And to this, Naruto would smile. He wouldn't have like a big grin, but he would just kind of have a smirk, just like nice, like cool. I got a summoning. That's pretty cool. And yeah, they would ask him questions like, "How did you even find us in the first place? And how did you get this powerful?" And uh, he would say that Kurama Kurama the Nine Tails would, and then like right mid sentence, would come off and say, "Where is he?" And they would say, "We want a rematch with him," and Naruto would say, "Well, that's sort of a problem. He's actually in me. He's sealed inside of me." And they would be kind of disappointed, but they would say, "Sorry for interrupting. Please continue." And Naruto would say that, "I'm not sure if you remember who this is, but do you remember a man named Asha Otsutsuki?" And they would be surprised. They would go, "How does this boy know his name? It's been decades, or I'm not sure how long, actually." 'Cause I know it's like they were starting ninjutsu because of the Sage of Six Paths. So I know it was a long time ago, but I don't know the exact date. And what was it called? They'll say, "Yes, we remember him," and Naruto would say, or they would ask, "How do you know of him?" And that's when Naruto says, "Well, I'm his reincarnation, and I actually can talk to him. Like, he's in my mindscape along with the Nine Tails, or along with Kurama." And they would ask if they can somehow see both of them. And Naruto asks Ashura if there's a way that they can be transported into their mind, into his mindscape. And that's when Ashura says, "Oh, yes, of course he can." And he would tell Naruto, simply just uh like touch their backs and then go into your mindscape, and it'll automatically bring them with you. Like, make sure your chakra connects though. What the heck? Sorry. And Naruto would do this, and both king and queen would teleport right to a Naruto's mindscape. Oh my god, hold up, I need water. I don't know why, but my throat got like really itchy all of a sudden. Oh man, I'm sorry. So, oh, what the heck? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my throat got like really itchy. I don't know. When I woke up, I had like a really stuffy nose. So yeah. So once they're in there, they would kind of just start reminiscing and talking for a bit. Like, the king and Kurama would have kind of a rivalry, but they would still be pretty good friends because they acknowledge each other's power. And so yeah, and then once they get out, they make a contract summoning with Naruto, and Naruto is able to summon them or reverse summon himself whenever he wants. And then that's when Naruto asks if any of them wants to come out into the real world with them, or if one of them wants to. And oh, by the way, since Naruto got the White Fox summoning now, he actually has control of all summonings and can summon whatever or whoever he wants. And yeah, he would just be able to like summon like, Gampabuto. Oh my god, Gampabuto. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Soldier's frog or toad. And so yeah, um, what else? And the queen would tell Naruto, "Sure, I would like to go out as well with you." And so Naruto would kind of like reverse on himself back, and along with the king would decide to stay and just be in his throne. But he says whenever he likes or whenever he can, the king can also join Naruto if he wanted to, and whenever he wants, Naruto can come and visit. And so yeah, so Naruto would tell the queen that she's gonna have to shrink down because she can also shrink down, but she can't control as much as the king. She can only like shrink down and just stay there for a bit and then shrink back up, but she still has all her power no matter what. And so yeah, the queen would go with Naruto, and they would be back. Naruto would kind of just all of a sudden teleport right to um where he was laying down earlier, and that's when a little bit after that, that's when Haku actually comes in. Naruto can sense that this is the same person from earlier, but doesn't really care because he can feel that she has hatred and malice, but only a little bit towards Naruto. And he realizes that because remember I said that Haku's a girl in this timeline, I guess. She is actually kind-hearted, and Haku kind of gives that speech or that talk to Naruto about her special one, which is Zabuza. But that's when Naruto says, or because Haku doesn't say it's Zabuza, it just says that she has a special one. And then that's when Naruto say, "Oh, so you like Zabuza that much, huh?" And this was shock Haku because that means that he knows for sure it's her, and she'd kind of get on guard and jump back. But Naruto would say, "It's okay. I don't want to hurt you at all, actually." And Haku can sense that there's no malice behind those words, and would say to trust Naruto for now. And Naruto would ask, "So if Zabuza were to come back to the village with us, would you also come back?" And Naruto says, and Haku says, "Where Zabuza goes, I go." And Naruto says, "Because you guys can be really helpful towards the Leaf Shinobi and towards the Leaf Village in general. And we're not like other villages where they'll shun you out." And Haku says, "That's not my decision to make. That's, I think, does he call Zabuza like Lord Zabuza? I'm just gonna say Zabuza for now." And yeah, Haku said, "That's not my decision. That's Zabuza's decision to make." And Naruto would kind of accept this, but would try to bring it up with Zabuza when they fight next time. And yeah, Haku would just kind of just run in the opposite direction after a bit. Oh my god, I'm really sorry. Yeah, would run towards the opposite direction. It's probably from talking so much, actually. Yeah, probably. And so, yeah, and Naruto started heading back in the direction of Tasuna's house, along with the the Queen Fox. Kind of how Jiraiya had the two toads on his shoulders. Oh my god, I forgot. I have really trouble pronouncing shoulders. Shoulders. Yeah, on there. Yeah, I have really bad trouble pronouncing that word, along with a few other ones, but that's besides the point. And yeah, it's kind of be like Pikachu with Ash, and how Pikachu's always on his shoulder. There you go. And yeah, they would start heading home, and this is a few days before the actual fight on the bridge happens. This is like a day or two, so Naruto has time to rest and just kind of lay down and relax for a bit. But after those days, they get word that Zabuza is on the bridge, and Naruto goes to help. And Kakashi's fighting Zabuza already, and Sakura's still protecting Tazuna, but is also helping Sasuke whenever what's it called, he needs help, or whenever he needs medical attention. So yeah, and Naruto would kind of teleport right in front of Kakashi, and tell him, "Let me fight Zabuza." And Kakashi accepts this because he has his Sharingan out, and he just using it for a little bit already exhausted him. So he decides to kind of back off for a bit and let himself rest his eye. And yeah, so they're going to do all that. And what else? That's when Naruto kind of talks to Zabuza, and Sasuke is still fighting Haku and the ice mirrors, but this time Haku's not going as hard on him. It's kind of letting Sasuke get a good few hits, not enough to injure him, but he's also not injuring Sasuke. Kind of just pretending to miss because he doesn't actually want to hurt Sasuke at all now because of Naruto. He actually is kind of hoping to go back to the village with Zabuza because he wants a better life for Zabuza, not just himself. Like, he wants Zabuza to be happy and not have to do all this work. And yeah, that's when Naruto would ask Zabuza, "Please go back to the Hidden Life village with us. We're not like other villages. We will accept you. We won't throw you out like garbage like the others." And Zabuza thinks about this, but tells him no. And Naruto would ask, "Do you really want to spend all your life doing scummy work just to meet ends way or ends? I forgot what the saying is. Just to make money to survive? Don't you want a better life for Haku, for yourself, or for Haku?" And that's when Zabuza said, "She's nothing but a tool to me, just something that I can use and throw away whenever I want." And Naruto would actually be really mad. Like, at the time, he's not hitting Zabuza back. He's just mainly just dodging and like protecting a bit. But this is when like Naruto would kind of rage a bit. He wouldn't he wouldn't get mad, but he would just like kind of attack back, knocking Zabuza to the ground, and tell Zabuza what's called, "How dare you say such a scummy thing? She would risk her life for you. She would jump in front of any jutsu, jump in front of anything just to protect you. She has grown up with you. You're like a dad to her. And you really think a girl like that deserves to live such a scummy life of just killing just to make money?" And that's when Naruto said, "Just open your eyes. Look, she's fighting for you. She's fighting for you to complete this mission, to make money. You guys really want to live that way?" And that's when Zabuza kind of just realizes, "Oh, dang, I think he's right." And yeah, and then that's when Zabuza actually agrees. And Naruto kind of did this behind Kakashi's back, but Kakashi trusts Naruto's decision because he can see that he's pretty smart and that he wouldn't just do this to some random villain. And then that's when, after a little bit of Zabuza deciding that he'll go back, Haku just kind of like stops um, attacking Sasuke, and Sasuke would like try so hard at this point that he would actually unlock not the one Tomoe, the two Tomoe. I know like before he would only unlock the one, but yeah, he unlocks the two Tomoe's Sharingan from like the stress of like kind of having to dodge all of them, even though Haku wasn't really trying. He still got pretty stressed and scared, and so yeah, um, that's when Gato comes in with all his men and kind of like makes remarks about Zabuza, and Haku reveals that he was never planning on paying Zabuza, and he kind of calls both of them trash. But this one, Naruto, he releases a lot of his hatred and bloodlust towards Gato and his men, and this this is a lot stronger towards the one that he sent towards Mema. At this point, like the Leaf Village, which is pretty far away, some of the high-rank shinobis can actually just feel his bloodlust from all the way over there, and it isn't even all of it. It's like a good 10 to 25%, and this bloodlust actually makes like Gato and all his men, like all their hair just starts falling out because how scared they are. They look like they grew, or like they grew older. Like they look wrinkly now because of their fear and all that. And they're just shocked. And that's when Zabuza also kind of gets mad and goes in and goes on a rampage and kills every single one of them. But this time Zabuza actually lives because he's injured, and Kakashi and what's called Naruto would also help out as well. And yeah, so then Naruto gets Haku, Kakashi, and Zabuza to come with him in private for like a second, and would tell all three of them that they can't tell the fourth Hokage that Naruto himself did all this. And tells Kakashi to tell Minato that was your idea, that they can actually help out the village and that they're really strong. And that they said that they pledged full loyalty to the village, even though Zabuza and Haku is actually a lot more loyal to Naruto. So if something were to happen to Naruto, they would follow Naruto more because they basically saved their lives today. And Kakashi agrees, and they get back to the village after a while, after being thanked by Tazuna, and the bridge is still called the Tazuna Bridge, the Naruto Bridge. And yeah, they would just head back. And when they get there, at first they're shocked to see Zabuza, and Kakashi explains to Minato, uh, what, or kind of a fake story of, oh, we all defeated them, and I asked them if they would like to join us because how powerful they are, and they agreed. And Minato, at first, kind of just like, I don't know, because they are still wanted criminals, but Minato decides to trust Kakashi's decision because Kakashi is his student, and so yeah, he will trust Kakashi and what he says. And at first, they would stay in the village, but they'd be watched heavily for like a month or two, and they're allowed to free roam, but they're just watched kind of. They're not really shinobi just yet. And after they've gained the Leaf Village trust, that's when so they actually automatically become, I think, Jonin. I think I'm gonna make them Jonin. Definitely not Chunin. Yeah, Jonin level. So yeah, they become Jonin almost automatically, and yeah, and they visit Naruto pretty like a lot of times and help him with training, or not help him with training. Like Naruto actually helps them with training most times and helps them get stronger. And I forgot to mention this, but I'm just gonna make it as now as Team Seven was practicing someday, and Kakashi was talking about how he wants to train his Sharingan in order to be able to use it a lot more and not have so much backlash afterwards, or like, you know. And so that's when Naruto goes up to him, gets his eye, and with like the Kibi chakra and Ashura's powers, kind of his medical ninjutsu, he's able to heal Naruto and heal Kakashi's eye at the point where the Sharingan is now his. Like it's embedded into his chakra. He still has all the moves, except he can activate it and deactivate it as he wants, and there's no like there's no side effects for after he uses it, unless he gets the Mangekyu, which he still has the normal side effects for all people that use it, but that won't be until a little bit later on. And because of this, Kakashi and Sasuke, even Sakura herself, is just absolutely shocked that Naruto just like basically embedded a Sharingan into Kakashi and made it his own, and would explain to Kakashi what he just did, and Kakashi would thank Naruto because now he can just use it as like free will, like as good as Sasuke if he wanted to, you know. And so yeah, and then Kakashi explains to them about the tuning exams and asks them if they want to participate, and all three of them this time like straight away say yes. And so yeah, they just kind of start training and preparing for it, and that's where I'm gonna leave out this part. Yeah, again, I'm recording this like 7:17 a.m. in the morning, so what's called, this should be uploaded after I get home from school, which for me would be at like around 4 p.m. unless I upload later on, which would be like around 5 or 6 p.m. So yeah, hopefully there should be a new video by then. And if you guys have any suggestions, comment them down below. Yeah, like, subscribe, share, do all that amazing things, because it helps out the channel a lot actually. Like, only, I know this is like a Minecraft YouTuber thing to say, but only like 80% of you guys are actually subscribed. So if you guys can, please subscribe. Again, it helps out the channel a lot. It helps my video get recommended to more people, and again, it just overall helps me out a lot. If you guys want a new part, I'm gonna actually have a like goal. I forgot to do one last few videos. It's not gonna be that much, don't worry. It's gonna be 10 likes, and then I'll make a new part. So yeah, if you guys like, or if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.